Hi, Todd Kalman, Senior Vice President of Sales for Marketron. I am joined today by Taja Graham, Market President for Emmis in the beautiful state of Indiana. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Todd. Thanks for having me.
It's great to see you.
Good to see you too.
So I want to be a little bit specific today about digital. Is that okay?
Let's do it.
All right. Hey, as Market President, you see revenue ebb and flow, and I'm talking top line revenue, all in, whether it's broadcast revenue, whether it's digital. Talk to me a little bit about the power or the importance of digital revenue.
Ever more so now than ever, we have made a focused effort on how we're going to continue to grow our revenues. What we know is, to your point, the traditional side of radio has continued to be on a decline as far as that ability to grow the revenue. And there's limitations, right? If you want to be very good in how you demonstrate to ratings, you want to make sure you keep the level of spot to a healthy level and not give more of increase of the actual inventory, by adding more inventory that could harm your ratings. So when you're having that balancing, that means that you're going to keep a limitation on that. You can only grow the revenues by growing the rate itself, okay? That equation sometimes doesn't always pan out based on what the market demand or what the market is willing to pay for. Digital is the way to be able to continue that growth. Not only is it because you can grow there just from the financials of it, but it's the abilities to really connect and engage an audience, a very targeted audience for a client in a system where it's got stickiness and relevance for that client. And it is a little bit different in that engagement, and the ability to measure that successfully is why we're on that path of focus there.
That makes perfect sense to me. You talk about stickiness. Are you seeing, I don't know if you have a scientific fact on this, but are you seeing more stickiness? I know in radio, there's a lot of attrition. New accounts come on, they attrit. They don't come back for a second campaign. Are you seeing more stickiness to customers that purchase digital along with their broadcast schedule?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The ability to upsell, if you will, against multiple platforms with that consistency of messaging across all of those platforms really gives them a good consistency of reaching that target.
All right. Well, that makes that makes all the difference in the world. And so what I'm hearing is the customers are getting better results. They wouldn't be sticky unless they were getting better results. Do all of your reps sell digital, or do you have specialized reps that sell digital?
Yeah. So I expect of my account executives to maintain a relationship with their accounts. And they bring along a specialist. We have 2 in-house that really can go in and help with the uncovery of what is needed, and then also come back with the full-on solution that they would need to fulfill.
Now, I know there's a lot of markets out there, a lot of companies out there that don't have a digital sales manager. And I know you have a very good digital sales manager. Tell me a little bit about this, the companies that don't have one. Do you recommend it, or sometimes it's just not financially feasible?
Yeah, I think if at all possible to have someone whose focus and lead and charge is to have that emphasis on your digital commitment, by all means, you need to make that investment.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is buy-in from leadership, right? Yeah. If leadership believes in digital, not just demands digital. If you demand digital sales, well, you'll get some, but it's not belief in it, right? So it's the belief and it's the investment. I understand that. Tell me this. Would you hire a sales rep today that has no digital experience?
I would be hard-pressed to hire a sales rep who does not have any digital acumen.
All right. Let's just say you did, okay? How would you best train them?
That is where we require, again, you have the relationship, but you must bring in that specialist. You must bring in that DOS who can actually have the conversation about digital.
And it's I think everybody would love to hire somebody with digital experience. How do you find these people?
Yeah, that is that's the challenge within our industry. We're so accustomed to going after, people that we know, people that have had success in the past,
Right.
And I think we've got to get beyond that and look at other segments or industries that have creative as a part of their sale, that they are actually selling what is intellectual property that could be in that digital space, could be that they were with an agency at some point, but that is where we have to look beyond our traditional mediums to fulfill.
All right. Well, one last thing. Emmis has a long history of selling linear with digital. Long history and very successful. What would you say to a company that wishes they had that but hasn't even started yet? How do you get started, and how do you bring it to the point of maybe not where Emmis is at, because that's taken years, but how do you at least get started, dip your toe in?
I think it requires you to look not only to your sales department, but also to who's delivering content on your websites, your talents, or how are their socials, what are they doing in that space, and then how can you take what is happening in those spaces with your talents and just monetize it. Start to actually, so if you have an endorsement with an automotive client, make sure that talent is placing that automotive client in the digital space with them, using their socials, doing some, if you have the ability to do some video that can actually showcase and highlight, the talent with the product. That's the smart way of taking advantage step by step.
Again, Taja Graham from Emmis, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to see you. You bring so much to the industry, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.